the most insane punishments used by Bloody Mary. Throughout her reign as Queen of England, Queen Mary I was referred to by a variety of names by her many opponents. Her ruthless treatment of Protestants earned her the nickname Bloody Mary and gave her the reputation of being a ruthless and cruel queen. But what made her deserving of this nickname? Was she an insensitive queen in reality? Let's explore the circumstances that made Mary one of the most notorious monarchs in English history. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get updates about our upcoming videos. With that being said, let's get right into it. Queen Mary was known by several names throughout her reign, including Bloody Mary and the Virgin Queen. History doesn't have a favorable memory of her, but how did she come to have that notorious nickname? To begin with, many people think that Bloody Mary is based on a myth about a repulsive lady who emerges in a mirror when her name is said aloud 3 times. While this horror tale has appeared in a number of TV shows and movies over the years, the true meaning of Queen Mary's nickname is far more horrific and realistic. King Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon had a daughter, Queen Mary I, who was born on February 18, 1516. Nobody foresaw her future as one of the most despised monarchs in English history at the time. Since he wanted a male heir and saw their union as incestuous, Mary's father divorced her mother when Mary was still a young child and had their marriage annulled so that he might marry Anne Boleyn. Formerly, Catherine was wed to Henry's brother. He unexpectedly got a divorce from Catherine and wed Anne. However, this resulted in the princess becoming a woman, being labeled as an illegitimate child, and breaking up with her mother. The English Reformation was a pivotal moment in English history that launched a series of events that ultimately gave Mary her nickname. England saw religious turmoil during the English Reformation. Henry VIII became well-liked among Protestants once he broke with the Catholic Church to divorce Catherine and marry Anne. He started the Church of England shortly after that. Henry, however, murdered Anne and wed Jane Seymour after she was unable to bear a male heir. After several failed marriages and executions, he eventually had a son, Edward VI, who became king at the age of 9. Edward VI became king in 1547 following the death of Henry. Edward VI wanted to make sure that his Protestant relative, Lady Jane Grey, would succeed him before he passed away. But Mary had been waiting. She continued to be a Catholic and did not want to watch helplessly while her nation was taken over by Protestants. So, in 1553, she planned a coup. Making England once more a Catholic nation was one of her attempts as queen to undo the Reformation. She was able to reclaim the throne with her help, earning her the nickname Bloody Mary. Due to the persecution of Protestants under Queen Mary I's rule as Queen of England, she earned the moniker Bloody Mary. She was a Catholic who attempted to restore Catholicism to England. As a result, she gained a reputation as a callous and oppressive leader. Almost soon after Mary became queen, Protestants were persecuted. She started beheading and stoning religious heretics in 1554 because of their convictions. She was viewed as ruthless, yet even Elizabeth I, her half-sister, murdered people for holding opposing religious views. Notable individuals like Thomas Cranmer, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Lady Jane Grey, Hugh Latimer, and Nicholas Ridley were among her victims. People were so affected by her executions that a Protestant named John Fox documented them. Mary eventually burned more than 300 individuals at the stake, receiving the nickname Bloody Mary. Mary was not a well-liked queen despite her claim to the throne. Queens often rule with the king. Nonetheless, she placed greater importance on religion and was more concerned about it, notwithstanding her commitment to make England a Catholic nation once more. She took her position seriously, implemented changes, and launched policy initiatives. Queen Mary promoted economic development, boosted commerce, and enacted financial reform. She also made improvements to the Navy to better equip England for battle. Her nicknames, though, indicated that people were uneasy with her religious policies. Comfortable enough? Well, wait for a few more moments and get to know about the most insane punishments a human mind can think of. Moreover, heretics received a worse punishment. First, it's necessary to know that across early modern Europe, heresy was viewed as a political infection that needed to be eradicated in order to prevent contaminating society as a whole. In order to prevent the use of a heretic's body parts as relics, the punishment for heresy in all of Europe included not only death, but also complete mutilation of the heretic's corpse. Hence, Mary's decision to burn was quite customary at any time, because the majority of heretics were burned and their ashes dumped into the river. Elizabeth I, her sister, was a little more astute during her reign. People found guilty of practicing Catholicism by becoming priests or providing shelter for them were found to be traitors and sentenced to death by hanging and mutilation. The rationale behind the various offenses was that while disagreements over a religion may exist, no two persons could ever agree that treason was acceptable. Yet if anyone is to blame for Mary's bad reputation, it's the Protestant martyrologist John Fox. His best-selling book, The Acts and Monuments, also referred to as Fox's Book of Martyrs, provided a thorough description of each martyr who perished under the Catholic Church for his or her faith. Its initial publication in 1563 and 4 editions in only Fox's lifetime speaks volume about how well liked it was. The persecutions under Mary I received and continued to get the most attention, despite the fact that the work also discussed the early Christian martyrs, the medieval Inquisition, and the suppressed Lollard heresy. This was partially caused by the specially created, meticulously detailed woodcuts that showed horrific torture and burning of Protestant martyrs within flames. Of the 57 images in the first edition from 1563, 30 show executions that took place under Mary's rule. The extremely moving manner in which those martyrs were believed to have met their end also contributed to the collection's impact. It is difficult to remain emotionless after reading this typical narrative of Bishops Hugh Latimer and Nicholas Ridley, 2 of the early Marian martyrs. Then brought they a faggot kindled with fire, and laid the same down at Dr. Ridley's feet, to whom Mr. Latimer spoke in this manner: Be of good comfort, Master Ridley, and play the man. We shall see this day light such a candle by God's grace in England, and I trust shall never be put out. As the fire took hold, Latimer was suffocated and died quickly, but poor Ridley was not so fortunate. The wood burned too furiously against his feet, and so he writhed in agony and repeatedly cried out, Lord, have mercy upon me. Intermiddling this cry, let the fire come unto me. I cannot burn. While many people refer to her by the name Bloody Mary, some people contend that this is not the best way to describe her rule. She did carry out religiously motivated executions, but England was going through a turbulent period at this time. There were many persons executed for their religious convictions during the Reformation. Mary was not the only one. Many more individuals were put to death by her father, Henry VIII, who was known for his executions, than by Mary. Elizabeth, her half-sister, was no different. During her reign, she killed hundreds of people. It's strange that Mary earned the name Bloody Mary, considering that her father and sister were equally, if not more, guilty. She was the first queen to rule England. It may have been unusual for a woman to hold that much power at the time. Maybe it's because her administration was brief, and that the killings took place all at once. It might also be because she was brutal in carrying out the executions, and didn't hesitate to give the command. For better or worse, Queen Mary I has been referred to as Bloody Mary for whatever cause. So guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked the video, and do let us know in the comments section below what your thoughts are on the gruesome and terrible name, Bloody Mary. Before you click off, make sure you liked our video and subscribe to our channel. That would mean the world to us. Thanks for watching, and see you again in the next one. Till then, take care.